Hello fellow survivors and welcome to an Interloper run featuring Settled Mind. This feat, which is unlocked by completing the tails in survival mode, gives you a unique ability in your survival run if you choose to activate it when you start that run, and that is the removal of cabin fever. Now, cabin fever is not the worst affliction in the game. It's more like a wrench in the wheel that slows you down when you need to craft or rest indoors. So it's not like it's the worst thing that can happen to you to get cabin fever. You can just cure it by going outside and sleep. However, with the absence of cabin fever in a run, you can really push survival time really far. The way this is done is hibernation in combination with starvation tactic. In the gist of it, the way this works is that you do not eat at all throughout the whole day. You only eat before bed and then you go to sleep for 10 hours. This means that the health gained from sleeping is actually higher than the health lost from starving yourself, meaning that health is not really an issue, you just don't get well fed. And because of cabin fever being removed with the Settled Mind trait, you can effectively stay put in one location and not move for a really long time and survive with the bare minimum of resources. So in this video, I'm going to showcase how powerful this feat is if you wanted to push through survival days on Interloper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spawn somewhere random, pick as many cattails as I can, then head to a base that has a 6-hub stove, make a ton of water, and then just pass time and push through survival day after survival day and see how long I can survive with just a minimal game time. And as you will see in this video, I survived well over 20 days in just a couple hours of gameplay. And that's how powerful this feat is, because you can use it to survive really long in the early game or in the late game. This video is effectively in two parts. The first part is me collecting resources after the spawn, and the second part is pretty much me just passing time in a location and seeing how long I can survive. And in that part I narrate a lot about the strategy and the game as a whole. I also like to point out that this video is not meant to promote this hibernation starvation strategy. I'm just outlining how powerful it is if you choose to approach it in one way or another. With all that being said, let's see how far we can survive with just some cattails and some water on Interloper with Settled Mind. Let's hop in. Hello fellow survivors and welcome to a special Interloper video where we're going to showcase how powerful a certain feat in the game is if you use it on Interloper or Stalker, and if your goal is to just get a certain amount of days survived. The feat I'm talking about is the Tails badge, Settled Mind. You can see it here on challenges and badges. And here we have the feats. This one, Celestial Navigator, you also get from completing the tails, but we're not going to be talking about that one. The one we're talking about is this one, Settled Mind. And this one is very powerful and also quite popular among players who have completed the tails. What it does is it removes cabin fever, which by itself is very strong because it allows you to survive for long periods of time if that's what you want to do. Not saying you have to do it, just saying you can. It also makes research happens faster. As of this video though, I'm pretty sure this part is bugged, but that doesn't matter for the purpose of the video. I'm going to show you that having immunity to cabin fever means you can survive for a really long time because you're no longer restricted by the fever having like an incursion to your gameplay. You can just stay in one place and just survive long term. You can craft, because some of the stuff you craft takes several days to craft, and having this makes it easier. Now, cabin fever isn't a major threat to long-term survival. It's more of a nuisance you have to take into account. So if you want to do something indoors and you have a cabin fever risk, you have to take a day or two to get rid of it before you continue. So it adds a lot of real time. If you have cabin fever off though, then you don't have any of those issues. Now to get this achievement or get this feat, you have to complete the tails. That itself is quite difficult to do. You have to have the DLC for one, and you have to go to the far territory. You have to do all 3, basically, or at least I believe you have to do all 3. But when the first one is Single Void, which requires to go through all of the different radio towers in Great Bear Island and repairing them and finding the bunkers. Buried Echoes takes place in Southern Hibernation. That one's not too difficult. And then the last one, Last Horizon, it's mostly in Sun of the Past, and that one is quite tricky to do. But when you do them, you eventually get this reward, Settled Mind, which is very good. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go and do a new Interloper run. And it doesn't really matter who we pick here. I guess we'll pick Astrid. And we're only going to pick one feat, which is this one, Settled Mind. This would, for the purpose of this video, this would be even stronger if I combine it with this one, Efficient Machine. But we don't really need to do that. Also, a lot of people don't have this one. And maybe more people have it than this one though. I'm not sure. But to keep it clean, so to speak, let's just use only Settled Mind for this. Okay. And Scurvy, Scurvy can be on. That doesn't matter for now anyway. And we're going to call this Supermind. And I'm going to do a random spawn for the purpose of this video, and I'll explain how I'm going to do everything as I move along. But basically we're going to harvest or hoard as much food as we can and get water, and then pretty much just wait it out as long as we can. We're going to hibernate, which is quite easy to do with this feat on. You can do it other ways with the feat off, of course. Now, it's a random spawn, but if I get Desolation Point, or especially Blackrock, I'll probably redo it, because Blackrock especially is just terrible. It works for this challenge, but it's just a boring start. Desolation Point isn't great because there's no cattails. Can do it, but I'd rather not. While all the other ones are fine. The best one is probably a Fallen Muskeg, but it doesn't really matter. So let's hop in and see where we are. Alright, let's do this. Alright. This is also Blackrock, isn't it? Pretty sure this is Blackrock as well. This is a different spawn. Hurrah! You really want me to spawn here, do you? Hey, I guess we could do it. I really don't want to. I guess we could do it. Okay, fine. We'll just do it here then. So we're going to grab all the food that we can. And we'll just pick up all the cattails we can. We're pretty much going to head out of here. Doesn't really matter how we do it, as long as we have enough food. We need all the cattails that we can grab. And then once we have taken all the ones we can to the location that we want, we can hibernate. Let's see. I never actually had this particular spawn before, but I think I know where we are, so it should be okay. At least I think so. We need to get matches, is the only problem. Let's see. So we're just going to grab, basically what we're going to do now is we're going to get as much food as we can. We're not going to go for well-fed, which I usually do. I always go for well-fed on Interloper from the get-go, because there's plenty of resources to allow for that. But in this challenge, we're not going to do that. We're going to starve. I might eat to avoid starvation here and there to just prevent taking too much damage, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to save the food for as long as we can, and I'll just show you how it's possible to survive for a long time on an Interloper. So if you wanted to do an Interloper run and just kill some days, you can. So I just wanted to show how that's done with this feat. It is possible to do without it, of course. We'll get to that. This requires more setup than this. So let's see how quickly we can do it as well. We need also wood. I'm not too bothered about frostbite, but it would be best not to have frostbite, of course. I'm getting a lot of cattails here, which is good. So that's a good thing with this spawn. And I think to the right there's we need to go. Let me just see, is any cattails here? I don't think so. Okay, this will take us up to the prison, which I don't think I want to go to. We're gonna go to Bricklayer's Retreat, if I can get there without being attacked, that is. There's our frostbite risk. And then we're going to go to Timberwolf Mountain from there. Not too hard, I don't think. But there are Timberwolves around. I'm not going to go to prison. It's just too much hassle. Too many wolves. You can get matches there, though. But we're not going to go there. We are going to go to Cook's Farm, though. There's someone's Timberwolves up there. Shouldn't be an issue here, though. We should just go this way to Cook's Farm. We're lucky that we matches here, too. Although I don't think so. There can be Timberwolves there, but it's rare. Doesn't usually happen. They tend to be further up the road. Need to make sure I have sprint ready for the Timberwolves. So I can evade them if necessary. I shouldn't smell, so we should be okay. There can be matches here. So let's see if we're lucky and get that. Cattails, don't see any. Okay, here's Cook's Farm. Grab these roll sips as well. This gives us one more thing to do. Don't really need it though, but it is food. Coal and tinder. And we got wires. We don't need the wires. See, I have found matches in this drawer before. Let's see if we get that this time. Nope. Jerrycan, we'll take that. For accelerant. And I guess that's it. We'll take the wood. Yes. Okay, then we're gonna head up to this trailer that's over here. Let's see if there's wolves over here though. There they are, over there. Okay. Let's see if we can get... Oh, there we are. They saw me. That's okay. We're just gonna sprint. Get as far as we can. I should be able to make it to this trail, I believe, before they catch up to me. This is right here. There's our frostbite risk. There we are. Okay. We're warming up, which is nice. We'll just take a moment here. I really did not want Blackrock, but here we are. What time of day is it? Early morning, that's fine. Anything else around here? Doesn't seem like it. I think because we're warm here, we're going to sleep. Or maybe... Yeah, I can do 2 hours maybe. Get some energy back while we're at it. Yeah, let's just see if the wolves are out again. If I can get past them. Okay, I think they have moved on. There can be wolves here too, which would be annoying if they were here. Let's see if that is the case. If it is the case, we have to change plans. There are ways to succeed, but let's see if this can be done. Are the Timberwolves here? If so, we have to change plan a little bit. Try not to run before I get detected.
Warming up a bit.
Doesn't seem like there's anyone here. Hey, mittens. Take those. Our hands. One less frostbite risk. Now it's just a head. Yeah. Oh, I can open devices. I don't really need to though. Okay. And then here, over here should be the lake. I don't think there's Timberwolves around here usually. But here we should be fine. Because I think so. Is there a moose around? Doesn't seem like the moose is out today. Let's just grab some more cattails. We want all of these cattails, and then we're going to go through Timberwolf Mountain and Pleasant Valley, and probably set up base in the farmhouse there. We'll do those cattails over there after. In here, I'm pretty sure there's guaranteed matches, so we'll go here. We can start a fire to warm ourselves up a bit. We don't need all of the tinder. Ah, moose marking. So this is where the moose would spawn. Not that matters to us. Not for this challenge though. Alright, so here we are. This is the bricklayer's retreat. And quickly let's check outside here. Here's the workbench. Supply. Coal. Oops. Okay, and then in here, there should be matches. There we are. Wood matches.
This will come in handy.
Yeah, that's fine. Ski jacket. Sewing kit. Boots. And I guess that's it. Ah, storm lantern. Very nice. Try to hide, eh? And then this thing. Book. Gloves. Okay. How's our frostbite risk? Yeah. Let's start a fire now. Just to get this going. We can use our lamp oil. And it's only 3 degrees. We can put 1 piece of coal on here. That's fine. And we can make some water while we're at it. And while we warm up, we can sort out. We got a ski jacket here. Diving clothes are better. Shoes are probably better. Yep, they are. We just need a hat. We're good. Got sewing kit. Got some wood. Let's refuel this. I mean, practically full already, the storm lantern, but we can create some rose hips while we wait. There we are. Let's do 1 more so that we have some warmth in us. Then we can go. Then I need to grab some torches. Doesn't be a lot of torches, but some. Let's put the reclaimed wood on here. How long has this got? 2 minutes, and then I guess it's 20. Let's see. Yeah, so let's grab a couple more. Crossbows is healed. We don't have a hat, but we'll get there. This is probably good enough. 16 minutes, so we have to grab another one and 1 more. And that's it. And then they got 13 and 40, that's fine. There we go. Oh wait, oh, it burned down. I thought it'd be embers. Oh well, that's okay. I was gonna use the torch, the fire to light a torch, but oh well. I think it maybe is too windy. I think maybe this this torch would have survived the wind. We'll see. Not a biggie though. Any cattails? I don't think there's any over there, but there are some. There's some over here. We'll grab. And then we're gonna head into Timberwolf Mountain. We're not gonna go to Summit. Oh, we could go to Summit. Especially if we find the tools to open the containers, but I don't really need to, especially for the purpose of this challenge. Okay, that's good. Then there's some more cattails here. I'll grab those too. And basically what we're doing is we're grabbing as much food as we possibly can, and so that we can survive for a long time using our starvation tactic. So normally when I play Interloper, I will always go for well-fed right away, because there's plenty of food to allow that to happen. There's just so much food to be found, especially including cattails. That it really isn't difficult to get well fed. However, this time we're not doing that. Starvation tactic is a way that you can preserve food. You can just starve yourself and then not use any food until you sleep, which is basically what we're going to do. And I don't usually do that. Some veteran players do that, but most veteran players will just go for well-fed right away, because the benefit of well-fed is so strong, seeing as it basically gives you more health, which is okay. But the reason you really want it is that it gives you more carry capacity, because we all love carrying stuff in this game. So over here, I can never remember. I think it's over. Yeah. So I tend to go for well-fed right away because it just makes the game easier, pretty much, because we all love our loot. However, what you can do is hibernate, and what that does is it allows you to survive for long periods of time. And this is something the developers actually knew about, and they added cabin fever to the game to combat that, because they noticed that what some people would do is, once they had been settled and they had enough food and water and that sort of thing, they forged the arrows and all of that. Once they were pretty much sorted, instead of keep playing the game and going out and doing risks, some people would just stay indoors and just pass time and hibernate. And that's what they did. So to combat that, the developers pretty much just added cabin fever. So cabin fever will make it so if you stay indoors for too long, you're not able to sleep indoors. So eventually you'll get fatigued and eventually you'll die. So that's what that was. So if you watch my videos, you'll see that I usually combat this manually. You can of course do a custom interloper run and just turn cabin fever off, and I know that a lot of people do that. On Stalker it's also on, but on Voyager and Pilgrim it's off, so that's not really an issue. So if you're watching this video and you usually play Voyager, well then you're in for a treat, because you can survive even longer on Voyager, much easier. But on Interloper what I usually do is when I reach the stage where I'm going to, for example, craft something, like let's say I'm going to make the bear coat. Crafting the bear coat takes a long time. It's like 36 hours or something. And there's only so much light in the day, so unless you use fire or light source to make the light longer, you're going to have to craft the bear coat over like 3 or 4 days. And if you have cabin fever, then suddenly you can't do that. So what you have to do is you have to abandon that plan, and you have to go out and either just do a lot of outdoor activities, like maybe some hunting, or go and sleep in a cave. Either way, you need to take a day or 2 break from whatever you're doing and do something else. So it causes a break in your hibernation or your crafting. So that's why it's such a debilitating thing, cabin fever. If for a long-term survival you could, of course, there are ways to combat this. If you were playing for the long run and you had everything you needed, the normal way to combat cabin fever and hibernate to kill time is to go to something like an outdoor cave. Because in the late game, even on Interloper, if you have all the gear you need, if you have double bear coat and that sort of thing, you can easily survive in any cave pretty much. And just sleep there even through a blizzard. It's really no issue at all. So if you have the right gear, you could just go to a cave, make that cave your base, make sure you have enough food and water and so on, and then you just hibernate in that cave, wait through days and days and days and days, and then you'll survive a long period. And that's actually what some people do. People like LemH, who has survived 10,000 days in this game. He does that. He will go and like kill a bear, and then if he has the resources, he might just pass time, like 40 days or something in a cave, and then he will go and find the bear again. So there's a lot of that going on. I don't tend to hibernate in any of my runs. There are some exceptions. There was once I did it just to show how powerful it was in one of the region challenges I did. And also I plan to do it on my main run, just to show how it works. But for more like resource purposes, I tend to, once a run, I tend to go to a certain place and then start hunting animals and then pass time and see how long before they respawn. But that's another story. But basically, because this trait removes cabin fever, then you don't have to worry about any of that stuff anymore. You don't have to worry about abandoning your plan and going outside and curing the cabin fever and then continuing whatever you were doing. It doesn't put a wrench in your plans anymore. And you can just do whatever you want. If you decide, hey, I'm just going to stay put there a little bit, I need a little break. It doesn't have to be to kill days and just survive longer. It could just be like, hey, I just want to wait around a little bit. I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to stay here for, 10 days or whatever. You can just do that and there won't be any penalties for it. So that's why it's very good. It's not game breaking by any means, but what this video is attempting to show you is that if you wanted to kill time, you can do it easily, and you can even do it from spawn. So that the point here is that some people find Interloper very difficult and belong to the category of like, oh, I can't even survive one day in Interloper. Wait, did I not pick up? Oh, whoops. It wasn't finished. Oh, I really messed that part up then. I'll show you that if you really wanted to, you could very quickly survive a really long time on Interloper just for the sake of it. Okay, let's see, how windy is it here? I'm not sure if... we can survive, if the wind will blow this out or not. I think this should be fine. So now we're going to head to Mountaineer's Hut. We're going to do it following the river. I can't pick up the burdock plants, regrettably. That would have been great, but I don't have the tools for it. We're going to follow the river. And just get to Mountaineer's Hut. And we're going to again pick up all the cattails we can. Basically to have as much food as possible by the time we get there. We basically want food and wood is what we want. It should be at the bottom of this rope here. The rope anchor over there, yeah. This is a rope that's not present. This is the shortcut rope. So there's a rope anchor straight above me now. Up there. And you can't, there's no rope attached to it. But if you do go to the summit and attach a rope there, then you can use as a shortcut next time. And to my left there's some crates. On lower difficulties there's also containers there, but not here. Oh, I missed some cattails over there. There's quite a lot of cattails, as you can see. There's a lot of cattails in the game, and they alone can allow you to survive a really long time, like a really long time. And it easily makes it so well fed, it's perfectly attainable. There was a count of it. This was before the DLC came out, and there's roughly 2,000 cattails in the game. Roughly 2,000. Desolation Point is the only region that doesn't have it. They don't have any cattails. This is before the tails though, and there's a pretty decent amount of cattails in Forsaken Airfield. There's quite a lot. In Stone Contamination there's some, not that many. Sunlit Pass there's a little bit, but again not that much. But probably, if I had to guess, in total with the far territory there's like 2,200 or something like that, if I had to guess. Now normally I would go left here and maybe into this cave or something like that, but we're gonna go straight down here just so we can get the cattails, I think. Although there's potentially a bear in the way, so maybe not. Yeah, tell you what, let's do the usual route here actually. Might forgo a cattail or two. How's my frostbite? Oh, fine. I'm not going to grab any rabbits because this is going to make me smell. And I don't want that to happen. At least not yet. But making good progress. I did say no, not Blackrock, but at least we did get quite a lot of cattails in Blackrock. But the problem is the Timberwolves, really. And you do have guaranteed matches in Bricolay's Retreat. There are other places you can get matches too. There's several options to find them. So it's not that bad. But it's not a great spawn. Also, like all the Timberwolves and that, but worked out this time. Just had to avoid it. That route that I did there with Cook's Farm, you get used to that. I've done Blackrock spawn so many times now that I just know you'll be fine. Once you get to Cook's Farm, if you loot that place and then move on to the trailer, then if you start pretty much sprinting once the wolves see you, then you're going to make it to the trailer before they catch you. Worst case, they'll take a little bite out of you, like a small one. You'll be fine. And once you just pass a little bit of time to get them off you, and then you'll be fine. The wolf over there. There's sometimes a wolf here. I'm gonna leave the what was I thinking of? The acorns, that's it. Here there should be some more cattails, not a ton, but some. How's my... Oh, we're fine, okay. We're losing health, but it's nothing major. I'll make some more water in Mountaineer's Hut. Maybe spend the night there. And we want to go somewhere that has a 6-hub stove, because then we can make more water more efficiently. So we want to go to the farm, or if not the farm, then Thompson's Crossing, or maybe both. We might go to Thompson's Crossing and then go to the farm, for example. But then we'll get more pots, probably. And then we're already set, really, and I'll illustrate my point. How far you can go in a very, very short time. Let's see here. Okay, more cattails here. I'm going to grab all of them. So usually I would leave a few, or not got too much out of my way, but here I want pretty much all of them. Yeah, there can be some wolves as well. There's quite a lot of cattails in Timberwolf Mountain. The Blackrock worked out as a spawn. I just thought, oh well, the gods want me to go here, so we'll go there. But I would have preferred like Hashra Valley. That's a good one. Bull and Muskeg is fine. Ash Canyon is a good one too, because then Ash Canyon will be basically the same as what I just did now, except you're in Ash Canyon instead of Blackrock. So you just go to Angler's Den, and then you can start grabbing cattails around there, follow the river all the way to Timberwolf Mountain. You'll get a ton of cattails, and there's a few safe zones along the way. So that would have been good. Yeah, I'm going to loot the rest of the cattails after. There's a wolf right there. I think we should go and get warm. I don't really want to stay here. We could actually warm up in the fishing hut. That might be better. So then I can go around and loot and warm up, maybe. Could maybe do that. There's more matches here, so I'm not too bothered about using a match. Grab these ones here. Let's start a fire in the fishing hut. Just because it allows a bit more mobility. Alright, let's light this torch. Right over here. Let's scare off the wolf. Temperature is -6. Okay, let's just start a fire here. You can use accelerant again, it doesn't matter. So a stick. And we got a bunch of coal, so let's just put a piece of coal on here. More tin though, we don't really need. Wool toque, there's our hat. Hooray, frostbite risk, be gone. Let's do our water here. There we go. Okay. And we can drink some more water, because dehydration I'd like to fight if I can. We can warm up a little bit here. Let's put a few more sticks on here, really. Yeah. And we can pair a couple things while we wait, like this dressing, for example. We're gonna get hungry soon, but I'm not bothered by that at all. I think the wolf is hunting something. Rabbit or something like that. Okay, so while that's burning, I can now go grab some more cat. Oh, it's going for the deer. That's a bunch of free food right there. But I think we'll leave the deer. That's like a freebie. It might get away. He probably caught it, but far back there. But that's not really. Oh, I'll leave that. Okay. Now we're barely cold at all. It's nice. And we're getting a bunch of cattails because there's so many of them here, and there'll be more in Pleasant Valley. I'm just going to grab all of them. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to Thompson's Crossing, grab some cattails on the way, and we will also grab the food that's there. Then we'll go to the farm, and that will be our base. Then we have plenty of stuff. And you'll see how far we can stretch this, which should be pretty far. I do need to sleep soon, but I would rather sleep in the bunker than here in Timberwolf Mountain. I'm going to leave those rose sips over there. Because I would probably have to make a fire in the hut. I was thinking loud, I'm wondering if I should go to the farm and dump a bunch of stuff and then go to Thompson's Crossing. I'm not sure. I guess you don't have to do that. Getting a bit colder now. We're getting a ton of food, as you can see. I could easily go for well-fed here if I wanted to, because there's just so many cattails in the world. Cattails are great because they give 150 calories each. They don't deteriorate, so they never go off. They don't give you food poisoning, and they weigh very little. I think it's 0.05 kilos or something. They are fantastic. Are there any over there? I don't see any over there. Let's warm up some more in here. We do need water. There we are, very nice. Let's make some more water while we're at it. I think we'll just warm up a bit. Yeah, there we go. Let's warm up that up too. Oh, almost made the same mistake as before. Let's put this seether on here. And let's grab a torch, because there's more over here. We're getting heavy now, but that's okay. Basically, we want to go over here and grab. There's some more cattails over here. We're going to get as much food as possible. Now, doing well so far. I haven't checked, but I believe we're in like 60 plus cattails, which is great. I'm getting heavy now though. I have to see if I can leave something behind maybe. Now the cattails are a bit harder to see because in the darkness they all blend in with the cattails, so you have to now kind of know where they are. I don't think there's any here, but there are some. Is that wood? Oh, I never knew there was wood laying around here. I almost never go here. And some more cattails, I think. This one, the Crystal Lake, has quite a lot of cattails. There's a lot of food around here, especially on lower difficulties, or if you have a hacksaw. Because there's deer and rabbits around, the moose isn't far, there's a bear not far away, there's all these containers, birch bark, there's a bunch of stuff. And there's more cattails along near the summit and all that stuff too. I'll leave these other cattails that are over there for when I leave the region. Let's light another torch. Nice to have the light, but also it makes it so I can see better. Okay. I think we'll head to the fishing hut, grab the water, and then go into the mountaineer's hut. And then we'll go to the bunker. We're getting heavy, but it's not a big deal. It's not particularly cold either. Our gear is okay. What is it actually? It's plus 7 degrees. That's okay. The gear doesn't matter too much for this particular challenge, though. As long as we don't get frostbite, really, I guess. But it's nice, because we're staying ahead of the curve. One of the great things about spawning somewhere near Pleasant Valley, so Timberwolf Mountain, Ash Canyon, even Black Rock, and Pleasant Valley, so about half of the possible spawns. The good thing about that is you have access to the plane crash in Pleasant Valley, so that no matter where you spawn, you can loot stuff and then make your way to, say, Mystery Lake, and on the way there, you go via the crashed plane in Pleasant Valley, and the crashed plane has a ton of suitcases which usually has good clothing in it, so it's likely that you'll find okay clothing in Pleasant Valley, and that means that by day 1, 2, or 3 you probably already have like plus 10 or something of your clothing value, which is great. So that means that you're not going to be cold, because an Interloper, the world gets cold over time. The way it works is that it gets roughly 20 degrees colder over 50 days. And I think that, if I remember correctly, it doesn't get cold every day, but it gets cold every 10 days or something. So it effectively means that, let's just say that's the case. It doesn't matter too much. Let's say the first 10 days then, the world does not get colder. And then after 10 days, it decreases by, whatever, 5 degrees, let's say. Or 4. And that means that those first 10 days, if you get some clothing, then you can just... you're very likely to stay warm those 10 days while moving around, because the world isn't cold enough yet. It's not until you get to day 50 that things start getting cold.
Nobody needs this anymore.
There's the match. It says wood also. I'm going to take all of this. Scarf, mittens. This will be heavy. The only problem. Book. We could take the book. We don't really need it though, but we could take it. Sports vest, sewing kit.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Yeah. Let's also... Let me quickly see if I can drop something. I'm getting quite heavy here. What can I do? 126, okay. I guess we don't need the feather, but that's not really a concern. There's not much to really drop, if I'm honest. We can drop the shoes, I guess. The gloves. Nah, keep those. There isn't really much to drop. We can drop some tinder plugs, I guess. We can... The fur fire was very heavy, but... it's 30 kilos. That's... we're not that heavy. Fine. We'll be a bit slow walking now, but once we have slept, it's okay. I would have slept here, but it's just... I need resources for it. So we're gonna head to the bunker. It's not that far. So we're just gonna head now. The weather's okay. I want to take advantage of that. I don't have any coffee and I don't have bedrolls, so we're gonna have to just rely on this walking. We'll be slower though, we'll be eventually like, when we get extremely tired, I think we'll be almost 50% slower than usual. But that's okay, we're not going that far. We're just gonna go to the prepper cache that's in Pleasant Valley, which is just a walk up the hill here and then a bit further, so take us 5 minutes. That should be fine. First we're gonna grab some more cattails here. There's some more around here. There we go, here's one. And I think I do need to go to Thompson's Crossing, and the main reason is usually you get a skillet there, sometimes a pot, and it'd be nice to have that.
I can drop any of this gear.
Even if you don't have to have it. And then we're basically optimizing our gear after that to survive as long as we want to, and then go from there. This does mean though that in this particular challenge, because I'm doing it right away, I'm trying to survive as long as I can right away. It does mean that when I then continue the run, I have much worse weather than before. Basically it'll be misery weather. So if you're not familiar with it, on misery mode, you also get the temperature decrease that Interloper has, but it happens over the course of, I think, 3 days instead of 50. So you can't stay ahead of the curve clothing-wise on misery. It's just not possible because the world gets really cold really, really fast, like really fast. And as a result, on misery, by day 3, you're already cold, and if you're unlucky, on day 6 you'll get frigid bones, which means that on day 6 the world is effectively 25 degrees Celsius colder, which is really cold. So misery is much worse. So yeah, it will be kind of like that if you hibernate early in the game. So the point of this challenge here is to just show you how powerful hibernation is and how additionally powerful it gets when you combine it with settled mind. However, and of course we haven't done it yet, but we're going to do it very soon. Even though this is possible, I wouldn't recommend really doing it in the early game unless you just for the sake of it wants to survive for a certain amount of time. And the reason is mostly the weather and item migration. So if you were to say do what I'm doing now, and let's just say for the sake of argument that you hoard all the food, you go somewhere, settle down, and you survive till day 50, for example. Let's say that's what you do. And I leave everything until I sleep. That means that when you then continue, you have effectively started the game practically, because you gotten some essentials, but then that's it. You are practically starting the game when the world is already at its coldest, and 50 days have passed, which means some things have started to degrade. 50 days isn't the worst though, so it's unlikely things will get ruined, but I would in general recommend going to, for example, the summit before day 100, at least before day 150. So if you did this and survived, say, 50 days, well then, you know, it's... You have a disadvantage, basically. It's what it means. The only thing you've achieved is surviving 50 days, but everything else is at a disadvantage because the world is colder and you have less quality items in the world. So if you wanted to do what I'm about to do and hibernate for the sake of it, it is better to do it later in the game when you already have everything you need, when you have gotten all the key loot, you have everything you need. There's nothing for you to really go out and find. You have food sources and you can bounce back into the game whenever you want to. When you reach that stage, then it's different. Then you can hibernate to kill time. Of course, you don't have to hibernate. Those of you who follow my series, like I have my Road to 500 Days series, which was 200 days so far. I haven't hibernated there other than the odd day or two to pass time. Usually I only hibernate by accident, which is things like a blizzard is still outside and the blizzard won't stop. Blizzard is still outside. Oh, it's still outside. Oh, it's still outside. And then you gotta wait it out. So sometimes you have to wait a day or two for a blizzard to stop. And that's effectively hibernating, but it's different because you're deliberately trying to go outside, but you can't. So that's different. So I don't tend to hibernate because I just find there's too much to do. And I would rather go out and do it. I prefer playing the game, doing as much as I want and not hibernating for the sake of it. However, as this video will hopefully show you, hibernation can be a really powerful tool to pass time. And with the settled mine active, it can be very, very powerful. And that can have benefits. For example, the main one being, say, that you are stuck in a blizzard and you can't get out and you have cabin fever. Well, with this one, you don't have that issue. You can just wait it out and you can hibernate if it is necessary. That sort of thing. You can craft stuff indoors. You can spend a week or 2 weeks indoors just crafting stuff in one go. Don't have to worry about going outside or anything like that. There's all sorts of utilities to this strategy. Maybe you need to kill a bear, but it hasn't respawned yet, so maybe you just want to wait 10 days, see if it comes back. There's all sorts of uses to it, but you don't have to use it. This video is just a showcase how it works and how powerful it can be. Okay, so finally we're getting cold, so that was convenient timing. Now we're going to go and sleep, and then we'll head to Thompson's Crossing. We're going to do our first starvation tactic here. We're not going to take the rope because it's too difficult. We're instead going to climb down here, take the shortcut. We're too heavy to use the rope, although you can circumvent that. We're going to take a right here, go in here, go through this little crack, and go down here. There's our prepper cache right there. Down here. And then we'll just go on this little slope here. And then very carefully left and right on your keyboard. And then you're down. Might get a sprain, might not. Okay, here's our prepper cache. We're going to sleep here till we get fully rested, so that we don't have to worry about anything. You can sleep for 10 hours. First we'll loot it though. Do that before we sleep. See if we find any misc stuff. You can find coffee in these things. The cabinets has this random loot, like nothing particular to look for. The main thing is that they can have random coffee in it. That's really this biggest strength. Okay, go. Not much in here. I think you can find a hacksaw in here, or storm lantern, at least you used to. Okay, about it. These ones too. There we go. Okay, then we can just chuck this in here. Right, so now we need to sleep, and if you 10 hours is the longest you can sleep on Interloper, and we need 750 calories for that, which is basically 6 of these cattails. We need to drink also. So we're going to eat that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we have some water. And then you do 10 hours, and you can see I have 800 and, well, 900 is what I have. Actually, I think I might have eaten 7 by accident there. Maybe I lose count. But anyway, you get the idea. Now my calories are above the minimum, and I can sleep for 10 hours, and I will regenerate the maximum. I think I ate 1 too many. There we are. And we can now drink water again, so we don't get dehydrated. And we can sleep another 2 hours, really. Oh, we can eat... Yeah, we'll get slightly hungry if we do that, but... Okay, we can eat 1 cattail. So that we can heal. There we are. So now it's a good time as any to go out. And we have good health. I think we are close to being heavy, but it's okay. Man, I don't think there's anything to really drop. This hook, I guess, I could drop. I mean, it's not big, it doesn't weigh anything. You can drop some of these stones. They are mostly used for Timberwolves. The cloth, we don't really need the mittens, but they don't really weigh anything either. Oh, I forgot to equip the sports vest. There we are, better. I guess that's it, really. I want to keep the rest of the stuff. Fur firewood is super heavy, but we need it for later. We don't need a kitchen, really, but... Okay. So now, I'm going to go to Thompson's Crossing. I'm going to pick up cattails along the way. We'll probably be heavy again. If necessary, I'll drop the book and the fur firewood. It's not that big a deal. There's plenty of more wood to be found. Let's see here. Beaches. We can also go via Misty Falls, because in Misty Falls there is some cattails, I think. Are there cattails there? Actually, I don't know if there's cattails there. Might be. We don't really need it anyway. I think we'll do it. We'll skip Misty Falls. Just because we can go, that doesn't mean you have to, especially for this challenge. So I think we're going to head straight to Thompson's instead. We're going to basically... There's that wolf. Let's just go this way then. We can run, actually. Not yet, though. Oh, there he is. He's seen me now. We're gonna basically go with this ledge that's over here. Yeah, there's also some mist loot potentially. But I'm not worried about any of that unless I can see something to loot, which I can't. Like this guy though. Nothing. Right. There's many ways to proceed here. You can follow the road, you can follow the river, that doesn't really matter. I'm going to go here and go down. This is a fairly easy goat to do. Gets rid of the wolf at the same time. Then we're basically going to follow the river towards Thompson's Crossing. Pretty much we're going. Here's the goat. Pretty easy to do. Wolf can't follow us either. There's a lot of ledges here, not difficult at all. Just winging this. It's not like I memorized the route or anything, I just know that it's easy to do. The river that's going here doesn't really have any cattails. The cattails start spawning at the circular, the loop, for the most part anyway. Parkour. I don't have any bandages actually, I just realized. That's a little bit of a mistake. So there's the river. And I'm getting kind of cold, but that's okay. Here I don't think there's particularly many cattails, if any. But once we reach the loop, so to speak, then it starts happening. What I mean by the loop is like this, in Pleasant Valley basically has a river that's like a loop. It goes almost in a circle around the map. So it basically goes to Keeper's Pass, and then all the way around the map to Thompson's Crossing. So it's only really the southern part that doesn't have rivers. The southern, I think it's, no, yes, southern. We can also go through the birch forest if we want to get some birch, but we don't have to. We don't have to do that. There is the bear we have to worry about if we do that. I'm cold now, but I'm not particularly worried about it because we have a lot of health. I can grab some. There's the bear right there. There he is. Hello there. How are you doing, Mr. Bear? I'm gonna not really annoy him too much. No cattails there. I need the broken. I don't think I see any cattails. No. How about over here? No, over here, yes. Here's some. I don't think there's too many along this stretch of the river onto Thompson's Crossing, but there are some. I think it's a bit more the other direction. Oh, that doesn't matter. Oh, wait a minute. The southern part does have a river that leads to the Pensive Pond. Yeah, there's a lot of rivers and cattails in Pleasant Valley. It's another one that has loads. I can't remember which one. I think it's Fallen Muskie has the most cattails with like 200. Ash Canyon also has an absolute ton of it. They're all over the place. Every region, including several connector regions, have cattails. Like Keeper's Pass, Winding River, they all have cattails. It's just Desolation Point that doesn't have it. And also Crumbling Highway. But for example, in Bleak Inlet, you can find them just outside of the coast. Coastal Highway, you can find them on the river. So pretty much every region will have them. It varies how many there are. It could be as few as just like a dozen to 200. But they are a really good source of food. And you'll see that many people will deliberately choose a route through a region or out of a region that covers cattails, because then you get extra food doing it. Here there's a bed in here, but I don't think we'll be warm enough unless we make a fire. Is that actually warm? No, it's not. It probably will be warm in about an hour, but we don't need to do that. We'll be fine. Let's keep going. We can run, doesn't matter. The running mostly affects our fatigue at this point. The hunger doesn't matter because we're already hungry. See if there's cattails here. Now think about the numbers of how this works. So when your meters are drained, they start impacting your health. The only way to heal in this game is if all your meters are full. If they're all full, you heal passively. I believe it's about 1% per hour that you heal passively. But if you sleep, then that's multiplied, so sleeping heals the most. However, if just one of your meters is not full, so if one of your meters are drained, then you start losing health instead. And then how much health you lose depends on the meter. So the two simplest is food and fatigue. So food, if you get hungry, you lose roughly 1% per hour. They're not exact, these numbers aren't precise, but it's roughly this, and it's just easy to convey it. But it's roughly 1% per hour you lose if you're hungry. If you're dehydrated, it's 2% per hour. And if you're tired, it's also 1% per hour. Which means effectively if you walk around and you're warm, but you're tired, hungry, and dehydrated, you lose 4% per hour. If you're at full health though, that means you will still survive for 20 plus hours, you know? so you're still going to survive a long time if you have all those drained. The 4%, 10 hours is 40%, you know, you get the idea. So it can last a while. Cold, however, is 20% per hour. So cold is the killer in this game. Cold is what kills you. This is just too cold. You take too much damage. If you get hypothermia, it's 40% per hour, so that is devastating. So what you really want here is to avoid getting cold. Now, if you think about this, right? Let's say that you are awake. Let's say you wake up in the morning and you're awake. Keep it simple. Let's say it's 12 hours, right? You wake up and you wake up hungry and you stay awake for 12 hours. Then you're going to lose, assuming everything else is fine, you're going to lose 12% health. And that's it, 12%. When you then go to bed, you're at 88% health. But on Interloper, if you sleep for 10 hours, you will heal 32%. So that means you're going to heal all the way back up. And it's a very large margin too. Let's say you got dehydrated a little bit, maybe you went outside, you got a little bit cold. As long as you basically go to bed at 72% health or higher, then you will heal to full health. The starvation tactic buys you a lot of time and resources. It allows you to optimize resources for a long time, which is why I don't use starvation tactic, because I don't need to. I don't feel it's necessary. But it's especially useful for newer players who are finding Interloper or maybe even Stalker difficult. They find it difficult to maintain the food, find it difficult to find the food and secure food. If that is the case, then starvation tactic might be for you. You can just starve yourself throughout the entire day, and then before bed you just eat a few cattails or whatever else food you got, and then you're done. That's it. Then you have survived that day. Next day you can go out, be hungry, just make sure you cover everything else, and continue your adventure, and then heal back up again. It's not too hard. Okay, we're gonna leave all this stuff. Let's go into Thompson's Crossing and also the rural store. Actually, let's do rural store first, because it's nice and light now. Rural store has matches and also porridge, which we can use. This is the only place in Pleasant Valley with guaranteed matches, as far as I know. This one, Thompson's Market, which we just call rural store. This one has guaranteed matches. It varies where they are in here. Here, rural store, you see what I mean? Just for the sake of argument, I can use the lantern. So there's always porridge in here too. This is guaranteed, so you can make porridge with oats. I say porridge, I mean oats. The matches are usually either here, or here, or here. This time they're neither... No, they are here. They were just hiding. There they are, right there. So that's something. I don't need that book. I'm not gonna grab any of that either. Nothing of that. If you go up here on lower difficulties, you'll find quite a lot of food in here too. Potato. Playing with the DLC, of course, which means there's slightly more food than a normal Interloper run, because you find the recipes as well. One drawback to Hibernation tactic is that because you're hungry, you of course can't read the books, because the books require that your meters are full and you don't have an affliction. So you can't read the books, unfortunately. So we'll see whether we use these books or not. Okay, now we're going to head into here, Thompson's Crossing. And there's some misc loot in here, but for the most part what I really care about is to see if there's a skillet or pot. I don't think you usually find pots here, but skillets you can find. It's just an excuse to make more water, really. Although in Pleasant Valley there is usually a guaranteed can opener, so you can get more recycled cans that way. Let's see, here we go. You can take the toilet water, we don't really need to, so I think we'll leave that. Okay, and there's a lot of cloth here we don't really need. But open the cabinet.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
We'll probably sleep here a little bit, maybe even spend the day if we want to. This can also be broken down, there's a cabinet behind here. But we don't need to do that. Well, we can't anyway, but we don't need to. I don't need a lantern here, you can see perfectly fine, it's just some extra light really. Here's a pot. Hey, we did get a pot. Very nice. Here's also a 6-up stove. But we're not going to use that. At least not now, I don't think. Now I basically want to make as much water as I can. That's basically what I want to do. So all of this, remember to look up because there's all these cabinets. Very easy to miss these cabinets. I do it all the time. I forget this. You know that movie Don't Look Up? Oh, long as the opposite. Do look up. Skillet, here we are. There's a skillet. There's also a recipe, which you might as well pick up while we're here.
Perfect.
It varies where it is, but it's usually in the kitchen here. Salt. There it is, stew. There's also these ones. Maybe peaches, pork, very nice. Quite a lot of food. Let's sleep here a little bit just to warm up. Also, we're getting heavy now. So let's just sleep here. We could stay the night actually, just to get fully. But how much water do I have? Nah, okay. I'll tell you what. Just to make things a bit easier for us, we just stay the night here. To be honest, let's do it. So we're just gonna pass time until we can sleep for 10 hours. Really, let's just pass some time here. Warm us up and everything. I'm not going to be dehydrated though. So we will lose some damage here from getting hungry, but that's fine. I want to be able to sleep 10 hours is what I want to do. We're losing health very gradually, as you can see. But we're going to recover quite a lot of it. Yeah, I think that's roughly that. So let's eat the 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 450, 4, 600, and then 5. Sorry, I said 6, but I guess it's 5. I never remember. And then if you now go to sleep, you see we have almost enough. So you can manage with just 5. In fact, you can see we haven't actually consumed all of it, even though it said we would. Okay, maybe because we didn't quite sleep 10 hours. Okay, it's not quite morning. What we could do, how much water do I have? Just to get the world a little bit warmer, we could just use a little bit of food, like have these sardines, for example, and this chocolate, and then read the book, one of the books, and it's one less thing to carry. Yeah, so it says that we read this faster for this because we have this feat. I don't think that's true, but we can see. Maybe it is. Although now that I think about it, hold on, let me just check.
I could eat a horse. Let's see in life because I love horses.
Now that I think about it, maybe it is true because I think usually these are 5 hours, not 4. So maybe it is okay. Let's see. Drop this book. Let's see, what's the weather outside? Is it windy or blizzard? Let's see.
I'd eat anything right about now.
It's windy, but it's going okay direction. How cold are we talking though? -27. I think if that's the case, we will just wait this out. We can do the same thing with the other book. We can just eat a chocolate bar, sure. And we can drink this Summit Soda. And we can read this book. Let's do 2 hours at a time though.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
I think the wind ended, so we're gonna go out even though we should really use the status to read the book, but
Horse.
okay, it's still windy. It just changed direction is all. So I think we'll just read this book then. Let's just read the rest of the book.
I need to find food.
I think we can do it, or do we get dehydrated? Oh, we just marginally didn't do it because we were dehydrated. And now there's a blizzard out there. That's annoying. Let's see. Let's just try and finish this book. You have 1 hour to do it. Should be fine. We'll eat drink rather all of our water. There we go. There we go. Of course it had to be a blizzard. But we can sleep for 1 hour, see if it goes away. I don't think it will though.
I could eat anything right
We
now.
might want to pass another day in here. Just to get our health back up and wait out this blizzard. So we could do that. Let's sleep though for an hour, 2 hours. Let's do 2 hours. Okay, the blizzard ended, I think, so we can go. Yeah, perfect. Now it's -8. Much better. We don't have any water, but it doesn't matter. We can run, because we're not going far. We're going to go to the farm, but we're going to do it via the river that's over here, to pick up the cattails there. That means we're forgoing checking the barn. The barn can have some good stuff. It has a stim in there for sure. It can have a hammer, it can have other things. We don't really need any of those things. So we're going to forgo that. There's also more cattails up at Pensive Pond. We're not going to go there either. It's not really necessary. So we're going to go and drop by the river that's underneath Pensive Pond. Basically where the bridge is, pretty much. And go from there. That's what we're going to do. I think the little one might be waking up. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Excuse me. Be right back. Okay. Yeah, little one woke up. Hey. Okay. We're gonna keep going to the river. Grab as many cattails as we can. The river does also go this way, but it connects. The river starts over here, basically, where the bridge is. And I can go to the right, and it will lead to basically the barn, and then back to the birch forest. And there will be some cattails there too, but this challenge isn't about scouring every cattail in the map or whatever. It's just about getting the resources necessary to do a session, and then showcasing how powerful that can be. So that's what we're going to do. And there are some cattails on left here as well, so we'll be fine. We're cold, but not that cold just yet. In cover, we're fine. There won't be much cover now, though, unfortunately. There we go, here's the river. And here are some cattails. Oops, there we are. Getting all the food we can, really. Oh, I missed one over here. Grab that one too. Okay, then we're going to follow the river here. There's wind, but it's not very strong. And it's coming from the side anyway. There's not a lot of cattails here, but there's some. There's those. There's around the corner over here, there's some as well. Up ahead there's a corner. There's a waterfall there, and there's some cattails there. And then there's some more along the river towards the farm, but again, not a lot of them, but there's some. We get the idea. So we're basically gonna grab as many as we can, and then you can see how long we can survive with just that, and then you can imagine how long you would survive without it. So this is using the hibernation tactic, of course, just a tool to showcase how you can survive for a long time. Although it has its uses in passing time to get rid of bad weather, or for crafting, or healing up with limited resources, and that sort of thing. So it has its uses too. But yeah, we're just passing time for the sake of it, really. There's a deer. I don't think there are cattails on the left here. Notice how it got brighter. This always happens. It gets darker and darker, then it shifts this sort of twilight zone thing, and then it gets brighter when it gets darker again. I don't think there's cattails over there by the waterfall. Could be wrong, but I don't think so. No. I think there might be some on the other side of this river. There's also some here to my right, I think. A load of these rose hips, so let's pick those up. Little rabbit paws. We could grab the rabbits, but I don't think we need to. I think there's some over there, actually, behind those rocks, but I'm not sure. I'm not going to go check. I got the wind against me now. Over here, there should be some, I believe. Right here. There we are. I usually come across these as I go from one location to the other. Quite a few of them here. And there's even more if you continue along the river towards the plane crash and then towards Keeper's Pass. There's even more. In Mystery Lake, there's a fair amount of cattails along the rivers and Mystery Lake itself. Quite a few. And then in Fallen Musket, there's quite a lot. Mystery Lake, sorry, they're called, not Mystery Lake. Mountain Town. There's some as well. And then Ashby Valley is a decent amount. There are some cattails further down here, but I'm not sure I'm gonna go for them because they're past the farm. Oh, now the wind is like right against me, like right in my face. Okay, I think we have enough now. Yeah, we have 165. That's good. Yeah. Plus other stuff. Let's head to the farm itself and loot that. Another deer. The reason I'm going for the cattails is to show that that's the main resource for this particular, let's call it exhibition run. Obviously you use all the food you can get, or you can use hunted food, doesn't make any difference at all. And of course you need water, but I'm just using it because it's static. The cattails are always the same place, there's always the same amount of them, more or less anyway. They're reliable, they're very powerful, they're just a great source of food in the early game, and also for as traveling food in the late game. So this just works really well as an illustration of my point. Car battery. Yeah. Let me check the porch here before I go to the basement. Then we go inside. Can be pry bars in here, you see. This counts as indoors, by the way, this porch. And yeah, let's go in here.
This pack is getting
all right. Let's see, 2 seconds. Okay. All right, so here we are in Pleasant Valley in our farmhouse. We kind of reached our goal, and now the fun begins. Now we're going to actually sustain ourselves in here for a while. Let's loot down here first, though. Might come back down here and loot some more to get wood, but for now it's not that important. Pry bar, we don't have that. Here's some more stuff. We can cook those potatoes. I don't think there are any recipes that requires potatoes, at least not yet. Yeah, porridge though. Check all of this. I mean, we'll pick up the whetstone, but we don't need it. We'll pick up some toilet water to get dehydration sorted as well. And then we're pretty much going to camp out there for a while. We'll sleep soon though, just to get into the next day. It doesn't really matter too much, really. Let's see here. Have you got coffee? No, we have tea.
This'll come in handy.
Don't really need tea though. Salt. Oh, sorry, I had to sneeze. There should be a can opener somewhere as well. Probably in the other room.
It's getting kind of heavy.
There's peaches. Oops. Granola bar. Let's see if there's any sardines. Nope. What about behind there? Nope. There's our pot. There's the can opener. Cooking oil. And we can even now, we can do like, there's another pot. Very nice. 3 pots. Very, very good. Place our skillet and can. That's very good. There's sometimes a skillet here too. Doesn't seem to be one today. Unless I missed it. Usually it's hanging or it's on top of the stove or something. Don't think there's one today. You would have seen it by now. Yeah. But we can get another recycle can instead. Hat, wardrobe, book for fuel, more wood, chips on the floor. Nothing else around here. And there's also upstairs. Oh, sewing kit.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Yeah, we'll sort the load out soon. Don't worry, Astrid. Yeah, let's just loot the whole place first. And we'll deal with the rest after. Book we can take. Dropped it by the fireplace. Not fireplace, but the stove. Okay. We will cook later though. Probably. Let's have some water. Yeah. Yeah, let's just leave some wood here. So we got quite a lot of cedar wood. That's fantastic. We got some books too. We can carry the coal for the moment. Let's go over to this wardrobe, which can be our main storage. And we can put in stuff we don't need. We don't need all of these, for example. Tablets could come in handy, but for now it's unlikely. Let's have a look here. I don't think we need any of this extra clothing. Yeah, that sounds good. Food, we can carry all the food around, that's fine. Jerry can. How's my fuel? Not that great, so let's refuel. And then put the jerry can in here, along with 3 sewing kits, the whetstone, and then here we got a feather. I put that in there, I guess. Yeah, alright, that's good. How's our cattail city? 165. Very, very good. Okay, we can also go upstairs and loot here. Here we find usually a little bit of food scattered around here, plus water, of course. I would break stuff down, but I'm not sure.
Use this.
I might be able to break some down by hand. When it's dark, you have to have a tool, but if you can break it down by hand, then that's fine. And over here we got... Is there something under here? No. Plastic container. And back in here. We're gonna put our water up here, probably. I check under the bed, but there's usually nothing under the bed. You can find rifles there though. At least you used to. But I check out of habit. Go. And that's more or less it. Antibiotics. Ah, look at this. Hey, Mackinac jacket. Wow, that's really good. One of the best jackets you can get in the Interloper. Not that it really matters too much for this challenge, but it's good to know, nevertheless. You can even put it on, I guess. Yeah, I suppose so. Okay, that's about it. Now let's break something down while we kill some time, just so we can sleep for 10 hours. It requires hatchet, okay. There are some other ones you can break down by hand. Any of them in here, like this one? This one you can, okay. Break this one down then. Let's not get dehydrated. Let's break this down by hand. There we go. We can probably sleep now, I guess. Bed should be behind here. There's the bed. So let's eat. Let's say maybe eat something like this, like dog food, because it gives us a can. You have to have the can opener for this, because otherwise, you smash the can and you can't get the calories. You can't get the can, rather. Okay, let's sleep. Actually, it's slightly less. Let's do another one. There we go. Let's sleep for 10 hours. There we go. Okay. And now the hibernation strategy begins. But we're going to start by breaking things down and that sort of stuff by hand, probably, and cook through the night. Oh, I missed this book. This is breakdown where we can. And we'll cook through the night. That's the easiest way to do it. How about this chair here? This one? No.
I need something to eat.
What else is there up here, if anything? Nothing really in here. It's strange because some chairs you can break down by hand and some you can't. I don't really see the big difference, but... I'm getting a lot of wood. We probably don't even need this much wood, but it's just helpful. I think that's probably it for up here. And we probably have enough now too, for the time being anyway. Let's start making a fire, I think. So now we're going to make a ton of water, basically. That's the idea here. Another can here. So we're going to start a fire. Quick up all this. And we'll start a fire here. I ditched the accelerant in the wardrobe, but that's okay. Ammo. There we are. Okay, nice. Let me put on some wood. Load of reclaimed wood, so we'll put that on. We can just do this for a long time, really. Why not? 10 hours, sure. Then we're gonna just put a bunch of water in here. All of them. We can make teas, but we don't really need to, at least not yet. Okay. I'm quite heavy still. What am I carrying this over? Is this food? There's books as well. I think I'll be using the books, to be honest. These other books we can drop. We can put the research book in here. There we are. Yeah, we're carrying a bunch of stuff here, really. What recipes can we make? Porridge, yeah. We're off, we don't have any of that stuff. We don't have canned corn. Bannocks, we need grounds for that. Bannock, this one we can make. We just need to be cooking level 2 for that. Then we can use our flour and oil to get some more food, which is nice. Yes, that's pretty much it. Bannocks and porridge is pretty much the only thing we can make here. They go off very quickly though, at least the porridge does. Yeah. These cans are require a bit more maintenance than the other things. Oh, I put 1 liter in there, I guess. I'm not going to do this like flawlessly, perfect optimization or whatever. I'm not going to do that. Let's put half a liter there, yeah, and then we can time it. And let's keep making, yeah, rosehip teas. All dry.
Walk with this much gear.
Let's use these to make some teas. Now we're getting an absolute ton of water, which is good. We can just... Can I make another one? Yeah, make another tea. It's preparing all the materials and food that we got, really. Make some more teas. This also levels cooking a little bit. We can make bannocks eventually. Let's make 1 liter of this. Yeah. I can make another one more tea. We can also make all our herbal teas because we have them, so why not? Cook and cook. Now we reach the end of the crafting stuff, so we'll just do what we can here. Cooking level 2, there we go. Now we can make bannocks. Isn't that interesting? I don't think bannocks expire too quickly, but we can always wait to make them. There they are. I just keep leveling up cooking. There's the bannocks that we can make. Half a liter. And past there. Just wait until this is done, because then they will be synchronized. We basically want an absolute ton of water.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
So that we have water covered for our hibernation journey. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Let's go upstairs with the water we got while the rest boils. Because we're going to leave it by the bed rather than down here. Because that saves us having to go up and down all the time. That's basically what we're going to do. We might do a separate cooking session later to cook the bannocks and the porridge, because they expire a bit too quickly. So it's better to do that later. And then when our hibernation takes us into daytime, we can do some repairs and that sort of thing. But we don't really have to. Let's drop it here. So we got 16 liters here. Drop. And drink this other part if you want to. There we are. So quite a lot of water there. A lot of food too. We can drop some food here just to have it, like put it on the nightstand, for example. We can put our teas here just to have them accessible. They don't expire either. They weigh a little bit, so that's why I get rid of them. And they add calories and hydration, so that's also something to keep in mind for survivability. As you can see, we haven't really looted that much so far. We've gone through a couple places. And we have a ton of stuff. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Now we're gonna go down and we can also cook our cans. We can eat those for now. Oh, I hate this. Let's just do it like that. How's this looking? 17 minutes. Okay. Then we're gonna open these ones. Let's see, how long is left of this? 5 hours. Ages. Let's open another one. You can use these for peach pies, but you still cook them to level up cooking. Pork and beans. And more peaches. And one more peach. I think that's probably it. You can also cook the potatoes, really. I want to do that, actually. Anything else here? No. Now let's harvest this torch. I'm pretty much going to cook water until this is done. I'm going to take these cans, though, and I'm going to cook a potato here. Because I don't think I realistically use them. We might as well cook them here to get a baked potato. 19 minutes. That's these are all pretty much done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all cooked. And then we can wait for this to be done. All takes basically an hour. So another. This is perfect. Very nice. And while we're waiting, we could always grab some curtains. Have some repairs when we want that. 7 minutes. Okay. Yeah, potato has been cooked. I think I have a few more potatoes. Let's just do that. Okay. I can grab maybe. I think there's some curtains over here. Yeah. Can grab that. Hey, where did it go? There. Then we have boil dry, boil dry, boil dry, boil dry. There. Let's just repeat. You'll be surprised how fast water goes when you are standing in one place. So it's good to have something you can do. I'm gonna make some bandages. Good to have as much of it as possible. That's it's good to have as much water as possible. As a general rule, no matter what you're doing, no matter what difficulty, if you have downtime and you have the opportunity to make water, you should, because it doesn't go off. So 15 minutes. Let's just wait for it to be ready. I think I have 1 or 2 more. I do have 2 more. Perfect. There we go. 2 more potatoes. Just wait here. Now until boiled. That means another liter of this. How much water do I have now? Okay, we can go and drop that as well.
I'm not gonna be able to carry this load for much longer.
I'm gonna keep going until the fire burns out, pretty much. And I think we have about 30 liters now, which sounds like an absolute ton. But you'd be surprised. You can drink a lot of water in one day. Like you can easily drink 2 or 3 liters of water per day. Now, some people have actually said they feel that the water levels that the character drinks in the Long Dark is unrealistic. Because they seem to be excessively drinking all the time. But actually, if you look up the recommended requirements, it's like about 3 liters a day. Depends a bit who you ask. And the characters in Long Dark definitely doing less than that. But it depends, yeah. Let's see, we can grab some more cloth while we wait. Doesn't matter if the torch burns out. Yeah, this is good. Torches, yeah, let's harvest these bad torches here. They're a load of wood if you want to make more fires. Wish we will at some point. But for now, this is fine. Yeah. Almost ready. Okay. And this. I think that's probably it. We can make some water here. What we can do is pass a bit of time, cancel. And then put that there to boil. Do the same thing. And now it's almost synchronized. Oh yeah. All boiled. That's the time. And now we'll put some more on there so we can have 2 more liters. I think we'll just pass time, to be honest. So we need 2 hours. Let's put some sticks on then. Yeah, you can honestly just pass time here. Repeat. And then 1 more, I think. That pretty much does it. Yeah, I think that's enough for now. We can almost sleep for 10 hours anyway. And we got another 18 liters, so we have what, almost 40 liters of water now, which is a lot, which is great. But you'll see we'll probably have to make even more. But we have quite a lot of wood on the floor. We have some books, some fur, cedar, coal. We could probably make 100 liters if we needed to. Plus there's more crates and stuff to break down, so we're not really in any kind of worrisome situation. Okay, so now we're going to drop not all of it, but quite a lot of this water on the ground. Let's do like 12, sure. And then now we're going to sleep. We can wait a little bit so that we can sleep for 10 hours. Let's pass a little bit of time here. Around here, I guess. And let's eat something, like the potatoes are going down in quality, so let's eat that. 275. That's 275, that gives 550. You can eat a cattail stalk. I think we need 2 of them, I think, yeah. Eat cattail stalk. Or I could have drunk a tea. It doesn't have to add up perfectly. Then I'm going to sleep for 10 hours. And then now the hibernation begins, and you can see how long you can survive and how easy it is with cabin fever absent. There we are. So now it's still daylight, so we can repair something just to do something. We can repair this Mackinac jacket, for example.
I could eat anything.
Which failed. Try again. Failed again. Let's have some water to keep our health high. And let's try again. Let's try and repair the Mackinac jacket. I have that sewing book, but I also have a lot of cloth, so I'm not too fussed about it. Wow. Really, really failing at this. Come on. There we go. And then we can grab some more cloth, because we failed a lot. There's some more here. Do some more repairs in the morning. Now, because it's getting dark, we can just wait this out. So now we do pastime. And we'll just do it as long as we need to, really. We'll try and stay hydrated where possible, so that we don't take too much damage. But we don't have to be hydrated all the time. Especially when our health is full and we only lose a little bit here and there. But now you can just do this on a repeat, pretty much, and you can survive a really long time. Let's see how far we can get. This is where it's handy, if you really want to have the developer's console mod, and you can type in a command that makes the game go faster. And you can do this really quickly, and you can survive for a really long time. Okay, we're approaching daylight. So we could always try and repair some more stuff. For example. You'll notice now that this symbol, the tired symbol, it starts getting this red line. That's because you've gone really long without eating. And when that happens, you are basically fatigued and you get reduced energy. So even if you sleep now, if I sleep, if I don't eat, the meter won't go all the way up, unfortunately. This is how it works. We can repair some other stuff. Repair our hat, for example. Failed again. Should give you like half, like 1 point in case you fail it, you know. The hood isn't great, but it's something to do. Yeah, let's repair it again. Level up some mending while we do this. And the rest is like okay condition. We can harvest this vest. Don't need that. And it's not really anything we need to repair. We could repair the Machino again, yeah. Get it full, if we can manage. Which we did. Very nice. Now we have plus, what do you have? Plus 11 degrees. That's okay. Okay, that's pretty much it in terms of things to do, I guess. Pretty much, yeah. Okay, then we do pretty much just pass time from here, and now you start grinding out the days. And I'll try and keep you entertained. We're almost at the 10 hour mark. It doesn't matter if it's daylight or not. I think that's about 10 hours. So let's eat another potato. Let's eat 1, 2, and let's actually eat one of these rosehip teas, or drink one of the rosehip teas rather. And then we have almost enough. Give me 1 cattail. And then we sleep for 10 hours. And then you can just do this on repeat. And because you have settled mind, there's no cabin fever, so you could pretty much just stay put. You could really just stay here the whole time. And it's really... You can stay a really, really long time. And now again, look at our health. Our health is going up because we're starving ourselves. But we heal more than we take damage. So I'm not sure how long we're awake exactly, but because we're standing still, the meter drains kind of slowly. There are ways to speed it up. For example, if you get food poisoning, for example, then it drains faster. Hypothermia also makes it drain faster. There are ways to speed this up.
I'm so hungry.
But yeah, you basically take, let's see how long until we sleep. So I woke up around, whatever that was, 10 in the night or something. I guess we'll be awake for about 24 hours, which case we take about 24% damage, but we heal 32. So you're gaining by doing this ever so slowly, but you are gaining. And you just pass and repeat, really. I'll talk about some strategies for this when I sleep next. And we have so much resources now. We have over 100 cattails. We have tons of water. There's just so much stuff that we have that really we could just camp if we wanted to, and we can survive a really long time. Let's just keep going. I think it's actually more than 24 hours we're awake. Give or take. Yeah, maybe it's roughly 24 hours, I'd say. Maybe a bit less than that. Okay, let's eat our potatoes again, because they deteriorate in condition. Let's actually start eating the lowest condition stuff. I can do this one too. Well, slightly too much, but that's okay. Looks like we need more water. That's okay. I drink and then we'll sleep for 10 hours again. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit while we keep going. Okay, now we're nearly at full health. Next time we probably will be. There we go. Let's see, it's pretty much exactly dawn, just past dawn. Let's see how long until He need to sleep again. So this video I hope shows you how this is possible, how you can utilize minimal resources to survive a really long time, including on Interloper, like a really long time. Now another question is, of course, should you do this? And is this how to play the game? And I would say, well, no. But in the end of the day, it is the same as with everyone.
So hungry.
That the thing about the Long Dark is you play it however you want to. Some people use mods, some people use exploits, some people use online resources, some people use play on custom challenges, some people play on Pilgrim. People vary tremendously in how they play this game, and so this is the same thing. If you wanted to say, hey, I've survived 100 days in this game, and people say, oh, how did you do it? Oh, easy. I just picked a bunch of cattails, and then I stood still for 100 days in a house. Like, oh, that's not very exciting. Oh, no, it's not. But that's just how you play the game. And like I mentioned earlier, you'll see some veterans do this when they reach the late game. When players have reached the stage where they pretty much have looted the entire world, they've crafted everything, they've done everything they want to do, and what they're really doing at that point, we're talking about, you know, day 2000 onwards sort of thing. They're pretty much going through cycles of killing the bear and the moose, and that's all they're doing. Okay, so it looks like it's like 22 hours you're awake, then you can sleep again. All right, let's eat again. Let's eat the peaches. We're not going to save those for like a pie or whatever. Let's go 50. And we have 300 with these chips. We'll be slightly under the calories, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. 750 is perfect, just under is fine. At the end of the day, just because you can do this does not mean that you should or need to. It's just one way to survive a long time, and it just allows you to pass a bunch of times. So this trait, Settled Mind, makes this a lot easier on Interloper and Stalker. If I didn't have this trait, I would have to, by now, had gone outside and do something else. Maybe go to a nearby cave and sleep in it, so that I can reduce camp fever, or at least spend time outside. Maybe go outside and do some chores, do some hunting or whatever, and then you can do it again. So it sort of disrupts it. However, that being said, it doesn't do a major disruption. So if you've seen my series, including the ones where I've survived hundreds of days, you notice that I almost never hibernate or pass time. I only really do it when I need to wait out a blizzard or something like that, or if I need to recover health. But that's not really hibernating, that's just waiting things out. You know, that's recovering health or waiting for the right weather conditions. However, you might be in a situation where you want to go out, not because you need to, but you want to go out because you want to go on a journey, or you want to go exploring or whatever, but then you can't because there's a blizzard, and you can't. Oh, okay, we'll have to wait out the blizzard, and you wait, and then cabin fever hits, and you're like, oh god, you know what do I do now? And it forces you to go out. So in those circumstances, this feat is actually really, really good. I think we'll eat our carrots. We don't really need to keep them. I don't think anyway. 300. This was, how much was a carrot? Okay. Let's also do this 300 granola bar, and I think that's probably enough. So you're not going to get well fed doing this either. Another 10, yeah. I think now I'll be close to full health doing this. Now, since the visual content for this video going onwards until the video is over, there we are, full health, it's going to be pretty linear as this passing time. I'll be explaining quite a few mechanisms and talking about the game and that sort of stuff while we're doing it, because this video is mostly just to showcase a point of how powerful this is. This isn't meant to be a tutorial on a recommended strategy. I'm not trying to entice that this is how you should play the game in order to survive a long time. I'm merely trying to illustrate that this is possible. It is possible to survive a really long time using this feat. You don't need the feat of Settlement to do this. Of course, it can be done without it. It's just that it makes it a lot easier, like a lot easier. It allows you to just stay put. You don't have to go outside every few days to break the monotony and go sleep in a cave and make sure you have wood to sleep in a cave and just bring food with you or whatever. It just makes it a lot easier. But even if it's not how you necessarily need to play the game, I hope it illustrates the power of hibernation, which is what the developers try to counter by adding cabin fever in the first place. They try to counter people doing exactly this strategy. But now if you have this feat, it basically nullifies it and you can go back to doing it. Now, of course, it all boils down to a personal opinion on how you should play the game. Like, is this in your mind a good way to play the game? Or is this something you will use often to push through the days? Is this something you will avoid doing completely? It'll just depend from player to player. Hey, an Aurora. Not many Auroras so far, actually. Maybe we should turn on the radio. It's not over here. Or is that downstairs? I think it might be downstairs. I think there might be 2 radios. Sorry. That's this one. I don't think that works. But there's a radio down here. You might as well turn that on. Not many Auroras. Yeah.
Oh, rest suit. I'm gonna faint.
Yeah, you'll be fine, Astrid. Pick up some more water. We're gonna sleep again. Let's eat the soup this time. 300. Makes our inventory a bit easy to manage as well. How much is that?
Yeah, this pack is getting kind
Eat another cattail. And drink and sleep. And I haven't even checked how long we survive, but we'll figure that out. Oh, 10 days. There we are, 10 days. Full health. And because of full health, we can be a bit more sparing with our water if we want to. Really not that hard.
trees.
But yeah, this sort of strategy is something you'll see in my runs that I don't tend to do. Because I like spending the game being in the game. I like going around exploring. Looting is one thing, but there's just so much to do in this game. And I have a podcast on it about like the meaning of life in the long dark and what to do with it. And there's just so much to do in this game. There's so many places to explore. The Tales with Signal Void and all that stuff adds a whole other layer to it as well. There's so many journeys you can go on. There's so much stuff to do in terms of crafting, forging, hunting, base building, and with the latest patch that's coming up, we also have safe house customization and trader. There's going to be even more stuff to do. So there's going to be a ton of stuff to do in this game, and I very rarely run out of things to do. When I had a run where I survived, where I survived for over 1,000 days on Interloper. And I can tell you pretty much exactly how much time I spent hibernating of those 1,000 days. This was 2 years ago that I finished that run. They reset it when the DLC came out. Of those, I survived 1,080 days on Interloper. And you know how many days I spent hibernating? 50 days out of those 1,000. I know it's 50 because I sometimes go to a place in the world, usually Milton Basin, at some point in my run. I mentioned this earlier. And I try hunting the animals there, and I track their respawn time, and I do a little bit of in-game research, trying to figure out how long it takes for animals to respawn, how long it takes for them to respawn given certain conditions, and so on. So in that run, I went to Milton Basin, and I would hunt, pass time, sleep, see if the animals respawn, repeat. And I did that for about 50 in-game days or so. And I probably will do that again also. But other than that, I didn't hibernate. I just went around doing stuff because there was so much stuff to do. You know, there's so many things to loot, so many things to conquer. You need to resupply your bases. If you set up a base in every single region in the game, which you should do if you're in for the long run, you should do that. That alone is going to take you a while because you need to go to every region, loot the region, set up a base in it, get supplies for it. And it's a very good practice also to spend about 50 days in each region to learn that region, what loot there is, where the animals are, and so on. So let's just say, for sake of argument, you spend 50 days in each region. Well, then you're already up to about 500 days. And then you need to go back to the regions periodically to make sure they have enough supplies. And then you decide, hey, I just fancy going to this region today, I fancy going there. And then you maybe want to do the tails, or today you're going to hunt a moose or a cougar. I'm going to decorate this base, you know, I'm going to make blizzard trails. There's all sorts of things to do. You never really run out of it. So if other than this particular video here, as well as a video I did where we did spawn testing and how long you can survive with your spawn stuff, you won't see videos of me hibernating very often. It's just something I don't tend to do. But this is an exception here though, just because there's too much to do. Let's see, I think we need to do 2 of these, I think. Yeah, and then we can do, okay. You'll mostly see players hibernate like this when they reach a really late stage of the game. So people who have survived thousands of days. So Lem H, a Korean player, he survived 10,000 days. Or actually it was 11,000 days, sorry. And I have a video on my channel that talks about how long people have survived. And Lemage at the time had the world record around 11,000 days survived on Interloper, which is insanely long. Now there's a player called Even Dark. I think he has 20,000 days on an Interloper save. And if you ask yourself, well, how is that possible? If you think about my run, so I have a Road to 500 Day series. And it's been almost 2 years since I started that series. And I'm on day 200. So I spent roughly a year to get 100 days. 1 year it takes to get 100 days. And that's because I'm a content creator and I do a lot of other stuff, and I also have a full-time job and I have a family, so it's hard for me to dedicate too much time to it. But before I had that, when I had more free time and I was playing a lot and I wasn't working as much, back like 4 years ago or so, then I was able to survive 500 days in about 9 months. You know, let's say for the sake of argument that I survived 1,000 days in a year, which isn't true, but let's just say I did that. How then are someone able to survive 20,000 days? Wouldn't that take 20 years then? You know, it takes forever. Well, it's because they do things like this. When you reach really, really late game, let's say you get to day 1,000 or day 2,000 maybe, and you have looted everything there is to loot in the world. You've been everywhere, including the new regions. You hunted everything, crafted everything, and you often then end up at a stage of like maintenance, where what you're doing is you're going between your bases and you are resupplying them and making sure they have everything they need. And you might rotate between bears. You'll see Lem H, I'm not sure how active he is anymore, but him and I think even Dark too, what they would do is they would go around the world hunting bears, and by the time they've killed the last bear, then maybe the first one is respawned. But when you survive a really long time, the respawn times for bears and moose are really long. Like it could be like 80 days for a bear. So occasionally I would hop into the stream and I would see them just sitting in a cave and they're passing time like this. And like, what are you doing? You're passing time. They're, yeah, waiting for the bear to spawn. So they kill the bear in, say, Desolation Point. And instead of moving on, they would just stay in the cave and they would pass time like this. And then either use a starvation tactic or just maintain well fed by grabbing, you know, meat. And they would just do that. They would just stand still, pass time, eat some food, drink, sleep in a cave with the bedroll, and just do this on repeat. And because they're in a cave, you don't get cabin fever. So they just do this, and then before you know it, they had survived 50 days. And then the bear respawned. Like, oh, here's the bear. Okay, killed it again. And then they did that. And then maybe they decided to go out and get some more bears and kill the bear. Lem H had this strategy where he would just put a campfire down, which would stop the bear's charge, and then he would always kill it. And that maybe you do all of that in like 2 hours. So then before you know it, you survive, say, 60 days in 2 hours. So yeah, if you do that every day and you have the resources to back it up, you will survive for thousands of days. That's why also there's different types of survival. We're not just talking about how long you have survived, but how you achieved surviving that. Doesn't mean that one way is better than the other or more correct than the other. But if one person stands in a house like this and survives for 100 days, then another person who hasn't hibernated at all, who survived 100 days, well, they both, if you compare them, they both survived 100 days, but the way they did it is completely different. But they both achieved the same thing, so you can't really criticize one over the other. But the person who didn't hibernate presumably had more fun, right? Because in 100 days, you explored a lot more, done a lot more, and had a lot more adventures. In my Road to 500 Day run, just for comparison, that series is still ongoing. I'm currently on day 210 or something. So in 200 days, there's still tons of stuff I haven't done. I have not properly visited or looted Hashura Valley, Black Rock, or Ash Canyon. Those 3 places I haven't really been to properly. And then there's several other regions also, like Bleak Inlet, Timberwolf Mountain, even Desolation Point, and some other ones where I have been there, but I haven't really done that much. There's still a lot more to do in Sundered Pass and Forsaken Airfield. Lots of mapping to do. And there's some stuff I haven't crafted. There's some places I haven't set up bases. All this stuff. So there's so much stuff to do still, and I'm only on day 200. You know, so you never really run out of things to do in this game. There's always something to do. At the end of the day, it depends on what you want to do with it. So if you want to go out and be busy, there'll always be goals to do. Mostly they're sort of region goals. You go out and explore regions, find good loot, and just you know, set up bases and that sort of thing. Setting up bases is something I generally speaking recommend that you do, because then it makes traveling so much easier. So imagine if I put all of the food that I have, like these cattails, imagine they were here in this base. Well, then it would make survival a lot easier, wouldn't it? Because I can just travel between bases and not have to worry about anything. I think it's 5 should be enough, right? Now we finally eaten all our stuff, it's just cattails left. I'll explain the regional bases again in a second. Oh, I need one more. We use a lot of other foods now. Alright, how far are we now? So at 17 days, you see how this works, right? You can keep going. I'll keep going until either I run out or I run out of things to talk about. Because it's just crazy how this strategy works. We need to make more water at some point probably though. Okay. But yeah, so you can see with Settled Mind here how powerful this is. So if you wanted to, for some reason, like, you know, there are cases where people are like, oh, I spent 80 days, but I really want... Oh, one way that this is useful, if you really want to grind it out, well, 2 ways that this particular strategy is useful is for you to get the feats and the achievement Will to Live, and Centurion, of course. And this is even easier on lower difficulties, because on lower difficulties, your food and meter and all that stuff drains slower, and you heal more when you sleep. So on the lower difficulties, you can even pass time until you have really low health, and then you could just sleep it off. It's really easy. But there are a couple of cases where also this strategy is useful. So there is an achievement in the game to survive 500 days, and a lot of people want that achievement. And it's a hard achievement to get, because surviving 500 days is not easy. And many people also say that, well, I play on Pilgrim, so survival isn't difficult, it's just boring. So it's more about finding the motivation to keep going, right? Because it takes so long. If you stay awake, if you do the opposite of this, and you stay awake for a whole day, 24 hours, that's about 2 hours real time, but 2 hours. So yeah, you gotta then you have spent 2 hours surviving 1 day, as opposed to doing what I'm doing now, and you survived, you know, whatever, longer, 50 days in 2 hours. You know what I mean? So there are some people who get to like I've seen people even say things like, oh, I got to day 400, but I just couldn't bring myself to play another 100 days. I would much rather start a new run, a new adventure, and just do that. Well, in those circumstances, this particular strategy might come in handy, right? If all you want to do is just achieve it once, because reaching the 500-day goal is a one-time thing. Once you've reached it, you reached it. You don't have to stress about doing it again. So if you're in a situation where you wanted to just get that for the sake of it, and you are on day 300 or 400, you could do this, right? You could just grind it out. Is it fun to do? Well, not really, but it is a way to do it. And you will be able to do it as well, especially on the lower difficulties where you're swimming in food. In fact, the math has been done by the same people who collected the cattails. If you go out and loot all the cattails in the world, and you use this method, you should be able to survive, I think, well over 500 days on Interloper. I can't remember the exact amount of time. And that's on cattails only. It's really, really long you can survive. So yeah, it can be handy. It's not an exploit, it's quite literally a strategy. It's just you're using the game mechanics as intended, particularly if you're using this settled mind approach. Then that's, you know, they added that and now you can use it. So it's not an exploit, it's just a strategy to survive the winter. You're basically a bear going into hibernation. That's what you're doing. And yeah, if you then needed to push it, if you really want to get to 500 days and you're at day 300 or 400 or whatever, then yeah, then this might be a way you can use the strategy to push beyond the last straw, so to speak. I'm wondering if I will end this video before I used all my resources, and then I might make a summary video instead, because it's just a lot of the same, grinding again and again and again and again. But you get the idea. We'll keep going a little bit more though, there's a bit more to say, so to speak. Get to experience the blizzards of Pleasant Valley as well. Okay, let's keep drinking water. Let's see. Yeah, so the achievement 500 days to live is one thing. The other thing is this feat, which is this one, efficient machine. This is what I'm missing. Oh, cat killer. Okay. I killed a cougar, but it was before release. Survived 500 days. This is not cumulative. This is total. But a lot of people don't have efficient machine either. So if you really needed to do that, right? If you did this, then yeah, sure, you're grinding it out, but you would be able to get the feats. There are ways to unlock the feats really fast. For example, the fires. If you want to unlock the fire feat, you can just light a bunch of fires in a circle with sticks and tinder. Do that on repeat, and after about, I'm not sure how long it takes. I think it takes about 2 hours if you start from scratch. You will reach fire starting level 5, and you will have started like 400 fires or something. You could always do that and then hibernate, for example. You can grind them out. There are a lot of ways to grind those feats. Now, the efficient machine one, which is survive 500 days, you will get that if you just naturally play the game, because it's not cumulative 500 days, it's just 500 days in total. So if you go out there and you play a run and you died on day 70, the next time you died on day 130, and then you survive 300 days, well, then congratulations, then you get the feat. Easy as that. So that one will come with time, but if you really wanted that one, you could do this to grind it out. This goes faster if you have a mod as well that allows you to speed up time, but then you're not using the game anymore. Then you're exploiting it with basically cheats is what you're doing then. But yeah, let's do the same thing. As you can see, we still have 135. So this is quite a lot of days. So there's 5 per day. So you can just do the math here a second. I need 2 more. And a drink. And we sleep for 10 hours. We can take a sit rep after this this sleep here, so you get the idea. Okay, I think we'll drink also. How long have we survived now? Yeah, we've survived for 21 days. 21 days, right? And we have 130. We need 5 of these per day. So what's that? That's 10 days is 50, 20 is 100, and then 26 days. So with just cattails alone, it's 26 days, provided we have the water for it, of course. 26 days. Okay. But of course we also have porridge, we have this stuff, and we also have some teas and that. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that let's just round it up and say 30 days or something like that. You know, we're gonna then get to day 50. We might even get to day 60 doing this. So just this alone will get me to 60 days survived on Interloper, and I've hardly done anything. Let's push this a little bit longer to day 25. Let's see if we can get to day 25, and then maybe we can just end it for the sake of it. Can leave a little bit of water there on the ground. So let's do a little bit longer, and then we can do a little sit rep. But yeah, again, you can use this strategy if you want to get the feat easier. You can use it to get the Will to Live achievement easier if you want. You can use it to just increase your days survived if you want that. As I said earlier, most people who actually use this strategy are using it in the late game when they already have done everything they need to do, and they're using it to fast forward time, because the respawn timer for animals are really slow in the late game. Like if you get past day 400, I think on Interloper a moose takes like 80 days to respawn, and I think there's even another. I think if you survive 1,000 days, it increases to like 150 days or something like that. So when you get to that late in the game, the animal respawn timer is gigantic, and then people tend to sometimes do this, which is why there's a big difference in having survived 100 days versus 500 days. And having survived 500 days to 1,000 days is also impressive, but the difference between surviving 1,000 days and 3,000 days is not necessarily as impressive, because people would do this. It depends though, as I said, it depends on the player. Some people do this often to pass time and also help with the respawn time of animals, while other people don't do it whatsoever. It just depends. There are also people out there who basically stream or play The Long Dark full time or nearly full time, and of course they have 6 to 8 hours per day where they can play this game, and they will obviously advance much further than the rest of us just because they have the time to do so, and they don't need to hibernate. But at the end of the day, this video is just to showcase how powerful this is, how powerful this can be. Okay, how I got 22? Yeah, we need to go a bit further. Water situation is dwindling, but we can push, as you can see, because dehydration pushes your meters down, like you lose 2% per hour. You know, as you have seen now, when I pass time, like when I wake and I need to pass so I can sleep 10 hours, so I'm effectively passing like 80% of what's possible or whatever, then it's almost 24 hours. Let's just make it easy and say 24 hours. It's not quite what happens, more like 22. Let's just say I'm passing time for 24 hours there. Then if I am dehydrated for those 24 hours also, that's 48% damage taken. That's a lot. That's a lot. Plus the hunger, which would be another 24. So that's 52, 72. So if I was dehydrated and hungry for 24 hours, then I take like 70% damage, which is a lot. This is why we had to make so much water, because the dehydration damage is quite high. But at the same time, if you're full health and you're going to stay awake for 24 hours, you're going to take 24% damage basically. But you heal about 32% resting. So you can be a little bit dehydrated here and there to save a little bit on water. You can skimp on it a little bit. Like here, for example, I'm probably going to be dehydrated before I can sleep, and that's fine. Actually, we'll time out more or less precisely around here, I guess. So you can skimp a little bit on the water. Of course, as you may have noticed, I'm not doing it perfectly. I'm eating 5 cattails rather than 6, and then drinking the water. And when I go to sleep, I actually have slightly less calories than before. Like slightly less. Yeah, actually we can check this. If you go here, what is my health? So, oh yeah, 25. 61, right? If I now sleep for 10 hours. Okay, and now my health is at 93. It's 93 now. So it went up quite a lot, you could say.
Eat soon.
Pretty much the full amount. Because the reason that happens is that when you sleep 10 hours, it's actually not 10 hours so much that you need to do. Now, in Interloper you can sleep 10 hours, and that's the maximum you can heal. But in reality, you're actually only sleeping and benefiting from 9 hours. I don't remember the exact detail, but the gist of it is that the longer you sleep, the more health regeneration multipliers you get. Once you get that to, I think it's 8 hours slept or something, and go a bit further, then you get a 5 times multiplier. So you basically have 5% health per hour is what happens, right? So that effectively means that when you sleep the 8th and 9th hour, you heal 10% in those 2 hours, which is a lot, right? So you're in deep sleep and you heal more. However, the 10th hour, when you transition from the 9th to the 10th hour of sleep on Interloper, what happens is that you actually become dehydrated at some point during that sleep. You don't actually benefit, you don't heal another 5% in that last hour. So somewhere between the 9th and 10th hour of sleep, you become dehydrated. So that's why it doesn't matter if the calorie store isn't perfect for the 10-hour sleep, because you're going to get dehydrated at some point anyway. And basically what happens is you heal like 2 or 3% that last hour, because at some point in that time frame, you become dehydrated and you lose like 1 or 2%. So you basically like think of it as healing 5% that last hour minus 2 or 3%, right? But it's more efficient health wise. It's more efficient to sleep 10 hours than 9, because if you slept 9 hours and then 1 hour, you would heal whatever 30% plus 1, right? While if you slept the 10 hours, you would heal 30% plus 2. So no matter how you slice it, the only exception, I guess, where you slept 9 and then 3, guess it'd be about the same. It doesn't really matter. So when you do this strategy, it's okay that you have a calorie store that's slightly under. So you need 750 calories to and be fully hydrated to do the 10-hour sleep. But it's okay if your calorie is slightly under. As you can see, when I do it, I eat exactly 750 calories. But by the time I actually go to sleep, that has gone down to like 740 calories or something like that. You know, so it changes. Oh, okay, I need more water.
Getting weak.
And that's okay. I still heal quite a lot. Okay, we're running out of water now, so this is when we'd have to make more water, as you can see. But that's okay. We can do that. We don't have to do it right now, though. Okay, how much water is left? Just these 2 liters. So I think we'll just do this. I think we can do it like that. I think we'll pass time now until we can sleep, and then we'll heal from there. You can see we're staying like near full health all the time. If you're optimizing water use all the time, I think we need to drink one more time. And then we also have these teas we can use. So that's also water, of course. But yeah, you can just keep doing this for a really long time, and it doesn't have to be flawless. You don't have to optimize it perfectly. You get the idea how it works. But this is how strong that beat is. Okay, here we are. There we go, and then now I think we can sleep. So let's eat another one of these. So we have 110 left. It says major vitamin C here, but it's actually not. This is because it's stacked. And this is all our water. As you can see, we made a ton of water, like 40 liters or something like that. And it goes fast. It goes fast. You need lots of water. I think some of my clothing are ruined. Yeah, it's almost morning. Let's just pass a bit of time here. Get the light. Yeah. Okay, so we survived how long? 26 days. Okay. Okay, so I think we'll just call it there, and let's do a quick sit rep. You get the idea, right? So I ran out of water now. I ran out of water. However, I still have lots of wood. I have the coal, sticks, and downstairs I think I have some more. We can go check quickly. I think I have some more wood. Yeah, I do. So if I want to make more water now, it should not be an issue at all. Enough to survive for a long time. If you look at the food I got 110 of these, which is 22 days. 22 days. I can also make more food with these, like bannocks and porridge. It's not going to do that much though. But let's say for the sake of argument, I can survive. Let's just round it up. I don't think it's quite right, but let's round it up for the sake of argument's sake and survive 30 days with just what I got on me, which means I would make it to day 56 with just being here. And that's really long, isn't it? Because if you think about what have we really done? We spawned in Blackrock, we ran to Cook's farm, and the trailer and the cave to get the matches. We then went to Timberwolf Mountain, to Mountaineer's Hut, and into Pleasant Valley. We dropped by Thompson's Crossing, and by day 3 we were here. What have we really looted? We looted Bricklayer's Retreat. We looted a random trailer and Cook's farm. We looted the Mountaineer's Hut. We looted Prepper's Cache. We looted Rural Store and the farm. It's only like a handful of places. We explored like 6% of the world. But the cattails were enormous. So now, 26 days in, we've explored 6% of the world. We've eaten spent 20,000 calories. Yeah, average about 760 calories per day. Sounds about right. We only traveled 14 kilometers. On my main run, it's 650 kilometers, right? Hours indoors, 600. It's quite a lot. It's funny also if you look at days survived, 66 on Stalker. My days indoors is about the same as it is on Interloper so far. It's interesting that the hours rested on 26 days is the same as Stalker for day 66. Yeah, so you can see how it's going. It does actually say the number of blizzards, even though I've been indoors. I'm not sure if it does. Let's have a quick look. 25. Okay, yeah. So it's been 25 blizzards, pretty much. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 was before. So Pleasant Valleys is a day of blizzards, pretty much. Yeah, that's crazy to think. But yeah, we can just stop it here because what you get the idea, right? So now what I could do is I could start a fire and I could just use this to make more water, and I would get a lot of water. And then I continue eating my cattails, and then I can also eat this stuff. And then if I want, I can do it some more. Like before I run completely out of food, I can then head out and I can go to, say, Signal Hill, get some loot there, then head into Winding River, get some more cattails there, loot the dam, go to Mystery Lake, get some more cattails there, maybe go Fallen Muskeg, even more cattails. And before you know it, you have another 200, 300, 400 cattails, plus all the food you found on the way. And you haven't even forged yet. And then you do the same thing, and then you have survived. Probably you get to day 100 easy. And it's on Interloper, and you get a pacifist achievement as well, because you did not fire any firearms whatsoever. You also haven't killed any animals at all, so you get those achievements too. So you get a lot of achievements doing this. And it didn't take very long. Like, I'm not sure how long this has been taking, maybe 2 hours and a bit. And we're on day 26 Interloper. And of course, the downside is, well, number one, it's very boring. You're just literally grinding time. That's all you're doing. And the last thing is that, of course, now the world has degraded. It's going to be colder outside, for one. So it's going to be colder out here. And the items around the world has also started degrading. So it's not, you're more likely to find ruined loot, although it's not a massive difference, but minus 30, you know. So yeah, that's one of the things. Nice to be outside, by the way. Did I get something ruined? I feel like yeah, the socks got ruined because the clothing degrades, of course. And actually clothing degrades slightly faster if you sleep in it. So if you want, you can take all the clothes off and you can just be naked in the house. But you can get cold indoors. It's just that it's unlikely. But if you really want to optimize, just take all the stuff off and you'll be fine. As you can see, since we repaired it in 20 days, it's gone down like 10%. So eventually you need to repair it anyway. These are terrible socks anyway. But yeah, there you go. So you can see with Settled Mind, you can survive a really long time. You don't have to worry about cabin fever. If I didn't have that feat, I would have to every 5 to 10 days get out of here, go to a cave, for example, the one that's over there, or the one that's nearer to the plane crash, probably that's best. Go there, sleep on the bed that's in that cave, light a fire, make sure I'm not cold, and then come back. And that's what I would have to do, which requires a lot more resources, it requires a lot more time, but it is what you would normally have to do. In this case, though, with this feat, you can really, really stretch it and survive a long period of time. So this feat, while it's not necessary to survive a long time, it does make it a lot easier. It allows you to hibernate, and hibernation can push the survival days for a really long time. And it makes it easier for crafting. If you need to craft indoors, which sometimes takes a long time to do, or if you need to recover health. I mean, it has happened to me a couple of times on my runs where I come to my base and I have cabin fever risk because I've been traveling in caves and that sort of thing. And I come to my base and I need to recover health and I have cabin fever and then I can't do it. So I have to go outside, and that's tricky. So in those cases, cabin fever can be really dangerous, but with this one on, that won't happen. But yeah, I think we'll just end it there. I could continue, but it'll probably be just another hour of me making water and passing time and talking. That's pretty much all it would be. And I could do that, but you get the idea. You get the same repetition. We're on day 26 now. You probably could make it day 50, if not 60, with just what we got now. And imagine if I went to another region or 2 other regions, did the same thing. You get to day 100 really fast, with just doing pretty much nothing. And that is one way you can play the game if you want to. I personally don't do it on my runs. I did it here as an exhibition of how it works. And I dabble with hibernation occasionally, usually for research purposes or to pass time to get rid of a blizzard or something. But generally speaking, I don't do it. But that doesn't mean that you can't. You do it however you want to do it. And I hope this video showcased not necessarily just how to do it, but also the power of utilizing resources and using starvation tactic. 20 days survived and we still have a ton of food in terms of the cattails. And if you wanted to go for well-fed instead, you could easily do it from now on. You know, it's really, really easy. There's so much food. It shows the power of not just this feat, but of cattails and how strong they are. Okay, survivors, I think I'll leave it there. I could continue. I could do the whole thing, but I think you get the idea. So I think we'll leave it here, and we'll maybe I'll continue it off screen and see how long I push it, but you get the idea. You see how long it can survive in a really short period of time. I hope this video was useful. I hope it was entertaining to the degree of possible by this passing time. And I wish you the best of luck in your own runs, regardless of whether you use this tactic or not. All the best. Thank you for watching, and see you next time, survivors. Bye bye.